Got it. Ooh. Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're back.
Guten Tag.
For the next episode.
We're still here on Thanksgiving.
Still Thanksgiving.
It won't be when you hear us.
Everybody would laugh if they saw my desk right now.
Well,
nose spray. Saline nose spray. Ricola.
This is what we call a sticky.
Oh, I dropped my Ricola.
She's a lot better than she was this weekend, which is why we did not record over the weekend.
For real.
Yeah.
It's not COVID, y'all, just so you know. I don't know if I said that. It's not
just
COVID.
A nasty cold, because you know what? We still get those, even though everybody believes we just are COVID times.
Yeah, I know, but I got tested just in case.
Did you also know that there is a thing called pandemic violence?
Oh, yeah.
It's a legit thing. And the world is currently going through it because we're trying to transition into normalcy,
right,
without so much, but because kids were out of school for 16 months or whatever, they're trying to adjust back in, and the violence on the streets and back in schools is way worse.
Well, and
sorry, I totally digressed into
that's fine though, but like at home I've noticed that there have been a lot more like murders and stuff in homes with like husbands and wives and significant others,
crimes of passion, more domestic violence,
exactly, more people are at home. And ooh lordy,
let's just be kind to one another. We're
Yeah.
all going through it, all of us.
I love that shirt. I almost wore the same shirt as you today. So
this one,
yeah.
I love this one.
Oh.
Death before decaf.
Yeah,
I love the skull man.
Yeah, he's amazing.
My zombie man.
He's like the coolest barista ever.
Oh, we're drinking coffee.
Yeah, coffee. What's
I am
your
drinking coffee in our mug that you may purchase through our merch.
Hell yeah. It's amazing.
I am drinking a sweet, sharp, and tangy coffee with notes of bright citrus.
Ooh.
It's a medium roast with lively flavors and a balanced finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's also my everyday coffee. It's affordable, and you can find it at Costco. It's dun 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 Kirkland Colombian Supremo blend.
See, now I actually really love Costco because they support a lot of smaller businesses.
Yeah.
And make those smaller businesses easier for us to get. So, and it probably won't have it on there like who roasted it and packaged or who they like got it from.
It's grown on coffee farms located at high altitudes protected by rainforest canopies.
Hell yes, that's Rainforest Alliance right there.
Yeah, they work with dedicated farmers who meet the high standards to develop delicious tasting coffee using sustainability and friendly farming methods.
That's what we like to hear.
Yep. I'll dig it. It's grown near Medellin in the hills, 6,000 feet above Concordia. In Colombia.
Want some Colombian emeralds? My birthstone.
Ooh, yes.
In case anybody's wondering.
Which is probably why her favorite
green.
color is green.
Love green.
Loves the green.
Ooh,
but yes, I do believe, even though it's a medium roast, it's a darker medium. It tastes dark and full-bodied.
Just like our podcast. Just like our podcast mug says we like it.
Yes. I also, so we do crafts and art and that kind of stuff as well. So I'm going to talk about a painting I did.
Yay.
I love this one just because it's simple and pretty, but know that I can never recreate painting colors because I mix all of them. And like we were talking about in another episode, we don't do well with recipes or patterns or anything. So I can't tell you what I did to make my colors, but they're really pretty. So I like to do a lot of bold colors typically, but this one I was going for some colors that are in my living room. So I had some art for the wall.
That's awesome.
And in every painting I do, I always typically draw out what I'm gonna paint, and then I'll do a background color. So in this one, I did like the lighter color first, and then I painted all my other colors.
I love your art.
So this, I really liked how I did the leaves to get that texture.
Yeah.
And I painted the whole leaf dark blue, and then I went through with a lighter color and like kind of fanned it out, but also like brushed it out with a dry brush too. Ooh. And if anyone would like to purchase, we can talk about that.
Yeah, email us.
All our art and stuff is for sale. So
that's true. We're for hire.
We're always for hire.
Always working for hire. I mean,
it just depends on what you're hiring us for.
Not like a taxi, but like, yeah, there are things we will not do ever.
Never ever.
I will happily make you a hat, and Kristen loves painting, so
I do.
Yeah, and she's not a one-trick pony. I've seen her artwork the whole time I've known her, and it's always just blown my mind. So there's that.
Thank you.
There's the one in particular that I'm always like, God, that's so cool. It's got.
Is it the one that has the four, like the skull in the center and the three, the young child? My dad has that.
He's lucky.
Yeah, he's had that one for.
Oh, it's so cool.
Since I did it. I was 16. It was at your freshman year of high school, my sophomore.
Yeah.
I did not like that art teacher. That art teacher was awful.
Who was your art teacher?
She was.
Did you have Miss Bradley?
I think it was Miss Bradley.
She's fucking wild, dude.
She was not.
She was like totally
eccentric,
rude, but like really good at what she did.
Yeah. And then when she couldn't believe that I freehand drew those, my drawing, I was like,
it was really interesting because she was very like inside the box as far as like rules of art go.
Yeah, but she said that you could not be an artist unless you could draw a straight line.
Yeah, I could never draw a straight fucking line. So
you know what?
I didn't do well enough.
I can paint straight lines.
But I did paint a supernova in her class. But
nice.
I don't know where it is, so it's okay. Yeah. I am not a painter. I can do it, but I am not a painter.
She creates in other ways.
Yes.
She's very artistic.
I paint with wool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
But there's that.
Woo! I love it.
Yay.
Who are you covering today? I'm so excited. Oh my God.
Oh. So we'll do trigger warnings first.
Yeah.
Trigger warnings if you're offended or grossed out by childhood trauma and abuse, necrophilia, strangulation, drowning, and alcohol abuse. This is not the episode for you.
Those are some
tough.
Those are some serious triggers. But yeah, I'm
ready.
ready.
So at first because I know it's weird, but I love nicknames for these people. Right. That's why we have a lot of, we talk about what they're called by, and not just their name. So this one, at first, when I was researching him, he didn't have a nickname. They just called him Eddie.
Interesting.
But then I delved in deeper, and he's called the Barfly Strangler.
Fly Strangler.
Yeah. It's one I didn't really know about, which was cool for me because I know a lot about different murders. So this one was pretty cool. Well, not cool.
I know what you meant.
You know what I mean?
I think anybody who's listening knows what you meant.
Yeah.
So it's always cool to find a new one.
Yes.
Even though
one you have not covered or really known much about. So, and I should premise this by saying that a couple weeks ago when we were recording, we were talking about like picking states, and you gave me Iowa.
Yeah, and you gave me Rhode Island, and I was like, how does this, my case that we just recorded took place all over the East Coast. So he did go through Rhode Island.
She met her assignment.
Yeah.
And I met my assignment, but really it's only because it's where he's born.
That's fine. I mean, he's from there.
Yeah. So this guy is Carroll Edward Eddie Cole, and he was born in Sioux City, Iowa on May 9th, 1938 to Laverne and Vesta Cole.
How dare he be a Taurus and so freaking close to my damn birthday, and shares a birthday with one of my old friends.
Yeah. Isn't it weird? So Eddie had one older brother and a younger sister, and sometime in 1939 the family decided to move to California.
Oh, joy.
Yeah. A lot of Midwesterners moved to California.
It's true.
His dad went on to fight in World War II, and Mom decided to become a drunk. And she also liked to entertain the men.
She was having fun.
She was having too much fun. And so she was entertaining all these men while her husband was away. And often Eddie's mom would take him with her to her rendezvous with the strange men.
Shit. Yeah. Ew. Gross. That is gonna fuck you up no matter who you are.
Yeah. And Eddie's mom was often emotionally abusive as well as physically abusive, and would dress Eddie like a girl.
Wow.
She would have him serve coffee to her men and call him Mama's little girl.
Okay, I wonder if the men knew that she was doing that to her son. But like psychologically speaking, I mean, he was fucked from the beginning.
Very damaging. Very damaging.
Oh my God.
And an interesting fact is that several of the world's worst serial killers often were abused by their mothers and forced to wear dresses.
Very interesting fact.
Yeah. Several of them, like
it's like an identity crisis, big time.
And it's weird because it's almost like these women were needing to feel powerful, so they couldn't with their husbands possibly, so they took it out on their sons.
Right. You know? Yeah.
It's sad. But so Eddie, his name was Carroll. which is typically a female name. So his abuse didn't end with just his mom, but he was also bullied and made fun of at school.
Right.
Just mostly because he had a girl name.
Well, and especially in America, like that is a female name normally in America.
Yeah.
I actually, like, people laugh about the name Vivian when it is given to a boy in America, but in Europe, that's a very common male name. So I kind of wonder if it's...
Well, and his parents had very interesting names. Like his dad's name was Laverne.
Right.
And his mom's name was Vesta.
Like, it sounds like they, I mean, probably came from somewhere else, or their families did, and those were family names maybe. That's sad. That makes me mad.
Yeah. Well, it gets worse.
Kids suck.
Kids do suck. And there was a boy in his class that learned not to bully the wrong way. Like, so one day when he was 8 years old, there was another boy named Dwayne who was also his age, and he was bullying him and making fun of him, and Eddie was tired of the bullying, and while no one was watching, they were swimming in a lake and he drowned the boy.
Shit.
Yeah. He held him under the water until he died. Officials, though, ruled the death accidental because no young boy could possibly do something so sinister. Right?
People that believe that are destined for a rough life.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if you really believe that your kid can do no wrong because of their age, I've met little tiny children, babies even, who are already super manipulative.
Yep.
It's really a thing.
It's people are born this way.
Some people are born that way, but he had it from both. He had
it.
Oh,
sad.
Sounds like
so. Yeah. After Eddie's shitty childhood, he joined the military. Some reports say that he was in the Navy and some say Army, but he served nonetheless. So,
right.
But like a lot of these guys who go into the military, they didn't do well. And he ended up getting discharged for stealing guns in 1958.
Oh, that's not a small charge.
No.
To have against you. And I wonder if they actually charged him with anything or if they just like confiscated it. And...
I think he sat for a month, and they just discharged him, and he moved back to California.
Great.
Yeah. So he moved back to California, and while he was living there, he was in Richmond. And in 1960, he attacked two couples parked on Lover's Lane with a hammer.
Okay. With a hammer.
Yeah, with a hammer.
Are we talking like Oakland area?
Richmond.
Oh.
Isn't that?
I think that's...
It's inland.
Let me look.
Yeah. Guys, we're from California, but sometimes we forget where certain places are.
Not even...
That state is huge.
Like... I have been gone from, I've been gone so long that like, I can't remember anything anymore. Yeah. So that's like Oakland area. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like northern inland-ish.
Yeah. Yep.
So he was living there and attacked these two couples while they were on Lover's Lane. So they were probably, doing the nasty in their cars.
I mean, they might have just been making out.
They were doing something. And apparently he did not like it and he attacked them. I don't know how one man attacks four people with a hammer. Shit. Because it was two separate couples. but they don't say much about it afterwards. They just they say that nothing else is known about the incident, but soon after the incident, Eddie called the cops from his place where he was living in Richmond, and he told them he was tortured by violent fantasies where he thought about strangling women.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So throughout his life, as an adult, like, he did petty crimes and would go and do stints in county jails and get out, and then he would do stints. He would voluntarily put himself in these mental hospitals, and for 3 years he was in and out of 3 of them in California. And the last one was Stockton State Hospital. And he was under the care of Dr. Weiss. Dr. Weiss wrote, "He seems to be afraid of the female figure and cannot have intercourse with her first, but must kill her before he can do it."
And they didn't keep him locked up.
They diagnosed him as a psychopath.
Oh boy.
But was usually discharged right after being admitted several times in several different mental hospitals. So he would go in and out. He tried killing himself. He's done just a lifetime of just destroying his own body because he was so ticked off from his childhood. But back then, apparently, he was considered a behavioral problem, not to have mental illness.
Right. Mental illness was
diagnosed differently back in the day. And we're talking in the 60s, early 60s. So different. they didn't label being a psychopath as a mental illness.
They thought that
it's a behavior problem.
They literally, they thought that being gay was a behavioral problem back then.
A mental illness.
We will just therapy it right out of you. No, that doesn't work. Sorry.
Yeah. So I feel as though he kept calling out for help.
Yeah.
And he was getting no help, and he was just let out on the streets to just continue his debaucherous behavior. And in 1971, Eddie's fantasies became a reality. And on May 7th, Eddie went to a bar in San Diego, California, somewhere in home, and picked up a woman named Essie Buck. He strangled her to death in his car, then drove around with her body in the trunk before eventually dumping it the next day.
Yikes.
He drove around for hours with that body in there. I got a dead body.
Yeah. I wonder if that excited him that he just had a dead body in his trunk.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I would love to get into the minds of men.
Yeah.
Because what really made you do this?
Yeah.
Why'd you flip a switch? And yeah. So after that, 2 weeks later, he killed a second time. And this woman is unknown and unidentified, and her body was dumped in the woods outside of San Ysidro.
Oh, shit.
A year later,
we both have mush mouth.
Always mush mouth.
It's who we are.
I'm always looking for a time to use elderly again, because that was a really good.
I think that was
mush mouth moment.
When I was reading, oh gosh, when I was listening to that.
Yeah.
Oh, I started laughing so hard when that happened. Again.
I was trying so hard to say elderly, and it
just didn't come out.
Didn't come out. A year later, Eddie drove back to San Ysidro. So he liked to go frequent that side of town in San Diego County. Apparently. He picked up 2 women at a bar that night, killed one with a hammer. There comes the hammer again. And he strangled the other one. Eddie buried both of the bodies in the desert, and neither of them have ever been found.
Holy shit. What? Yeah. I just, like, when you said there's the hammer again, I thought of the Beatles. Bang, bang, Maxwell Silverhand. Okay, carry on. I'll be over here knitting. I can knit and listen. It's my favorite.
Of course. So that year was obviously a turning point for him, and he started to really drink, and he became a raging drunk and just black out all the time.
Taken after his mama.
Yeah. And he decided to marry a barmaid who was also a drunk.
Oh, fun.
And in 1973, Eddie and his wife, Diana Paschal, decided to move to Las Vegas, Nevada. Party Central.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But neither one of them were loyal, and both would sleep around with other people, and they would get drunk and have fights and just hit each other. Eddie ended up leaving time and time again. He would just disappear for days or weeks. And in 1975, he went to Wyoming and left Diana in Las Vegas, Nevada, where in that year, in August, he met Merlene, quote unquote, TP Hammer. I guess her nickname was TP. Like Teepee.
I know. I'm like, that's so like.
It's
fucked.
So.
That's
wrong.
so like very derogatory.
Extremely. I don't know if she gave herself that nickname, because I don't think it would be a.
Well, and her last name is Hammer.
Hamer. Yeah. Yeah. Hammer.
Hammer.
Yeah. And after a night of partying with Marlene, she suggested they have sex.
Oh.
Eddie decided to strangle her and leave her body on a hillside covered with a bag.
Whoa.
Starting to have a pattern. So there would be girls that he would party with, and if they were not alluding to having sex, he would let them live.
Shit.
Anytime they mentioned sex or that they were married, he would just go off and kill them.
Dude.
I'll get to more of that later.
Right.
But yeah, so he left that poor lady on a hillside. In May 1977, police found the body of Kathleen Bloom, a prostitute that Eddie strangled and dumped in someone's backyard. Just dumped her.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine like walking out
like,
of your backyard? First
wake
thing in the
up,
morning,
you're drinking your coffee and the birds are singing, and you look in your yard and you're like,
fuck, there's a
what the fuck?
Or you go, I thought it was a mannequin. Really? No.
No, sir, that's not a mannequin. That's a dead prostitute.
That's very sad.
Dun, dun, dun.
Poor sex workers.
Yeah, I mean, just let them be.
It's very sad. Let them do their fucking job.
Well, I can't legally say that.
I know you can't, but I can. Don't have to kill them.
No, we don't have to kill the sex workers. It's not a good idea. But if I ever come across one, I will most likely have to arrest.
Where you live. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
You know. Anyways, we digress.
It's fine.
Yes. The night before Thanksgiving of 1977.
What are the odds? Okay, carry on.
Yeah. We're at Thanksgiving. Eddie met a woman at a topless bar. Not a tapas.
Damn it.
Not a tapas bar. A topless. With the boobies.
Babies. Sorry.
he met this woman and then ended up sleeping with her and spent the night. He claims he woke up to find the woman dead in his bathtub. Claims. Yeah.
Damn it.
She didn't get out. Parts of her feet and arms were in his refrigerator. Her butt cheeks were in a skillet on the stove. And he apparently blacked out and didn't know he did it all. So he cleaned up. Yeah.
He was a cannibal.
He didn't realize that he killed another person and chopped her up.
But I do hear butt meat is very tasty. I don't know who said it, but there was a cannibal out there that was like his favorite meat.
Well, Joachim Kroll.
Joaquin.
That was his favorite.
Walk and crawl.
Walk and crawl. He loved the buttocks and thighs.
Yep.
Yeah, so he collected all the parts and dumped her in the city dump, allegedly.
That pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, these guys know that they can dump stuff in a landfill.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because the victims' families never get closure because they're just never found.
Right.
Yeah, so dumped her. And in 1979, he seems to like go every 2 years on odd years. Like, odd years seem to be his years for murder.
Right.
1971, 1973, 1975, 1977, 1979.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. I thought it was weird because he like skipped odd year or even years. But in the end, he also said that he may have killed 35 women. He just doesn't remember because he was blackout drunk.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe
he did kill in those even years. He just remembers the odd years.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Very
it's very strange. In 1979, Eddie met and had sex with a woman named Bonnie Sue O'Neill. But Eddie strangled her after she mentioned needing to call her husband.
Whoops.
He did not like the fact that she had a husband and that she was willing to sleep with him. So
he really had issues with his mom and her actions for good reason.
Yeah. I mean, she was a shitty person.
Yeah.
Not a good mom.
Not at all.
Not good. So he took her body, the woman, Bonnie, who had a husband, he took her body and put her in a garbage can in the back of the building. Just left her. That's not a mannequin.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, I just don't understand. Like, you can just, I mean, I don't understand
toss
any
people
of it,
out like
but,
trash.
Like, literally
throw
them. Yeah, throw them in the trash.
Throw them away. Yeah.
It's disturbing.
I get a lot of those. A lot of my stories are.
I know you cover like some of the trash. Oh, say that. Oh, hold on. Say that again because your video just went wonky.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's fine.
Okay.
But you do cover.
What was I saying?
That you cover.
Oh yeah, I end up with the trash dumpers.
Yeah. You have your area of like what captures your interest. And it just so happens to be trash dumpers and cannibals.
Trash dumpers and cannibals.
We all have our...
What does that say about me? Woo.
I have no idea what that says about you, but you're fine. I know you are.
So yes, so he threw that lady away. A month after that murder, Eddie had enough of his wife Diana and her bullshit, apparently, and he strangled her.
Oh.
Yeah, he wrapped her body in blankets and stuffed her into a closet.
That's a good place for her.
Yeah, I guess their domestic violence just went too far this time.
Mm-hmm.
His neighbor called the police 8 days later because they saw him digging a hole in his crawl space, and they also hadn't seen Diana in days.
They didn't have a smell emanating from his house? I'm like,
I would think so.
Yikes.
Like,
maybe it was
unless they always just had a stinky apartment.
Wait,
but
was this...
death is pretty gross smelling.
Was this in Wyoming?
This was...
Or did
they were living in Las Vegas.
Okay, so this is back in Las Vegas.
Yeah, this is back in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Diana's death was actually ruled alcohol poisoning, and Eddie was not charged with her murder at that time.
I have no words.
I know. I knew you would have no words with that, because like, this man just keeps getting off on all this stuff because they just, I don't know what investigators were thinking.
After 8 days, you would for sure be able to see marks. Honestly, guys, do your job. Like,
alcohol poisoning.
You would see strangulation marks.
No comments.
No good.
1979. Different time.
Vegas.
Where serial killers could work and work and work and work.
Yes.
Not get caught until later on when we had better investigation
much
processes.
better investigation.
DNA is a hell of a thing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's a wonderful thing. Yeah, so he was not charged with that murder. So he could be free to move about his business and continue to kill. And 2 months later, he did just that. He killed Marie Cushman at the Casbah Hotel, left her body in the room for the maid to find.
That was nice of him.
Yeah.
That poor maid. Can you imagine being a maid in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, at least he didn't do a bloody one, but she was still strangled, and a lifeless body is...
Seeing a dead body is yikes.
When you're not expecting to go to a dead body.
Well, like,
it's a little rough.
You're just going to clean the room. What was that movie? Shit. Oh, it's one of my favorite movies, and I can't think of it. Carry on. I'll think about it.
Okay. So after that, now we move into November 11th, 1980. Here's an even year. We got an even year.
Well, he's escalating.
Yeah, he escalated to his end. So November 11th, 1980, Eddie killed again, and the victim's name was Dorothy King. And the next night, he killed another woman named Wanda Faye Roberts. That night he killed Wanda Faye Roberts, he went back to Dorothy King's house and raped her.
Oh my, ew.
Dead body.
Ew.
Yeah. And then soon after that, he killed Sally Thompson. Miss Thompson was dead when, like, police got a call to go to this residence. And they actually interrupted Eddie.
No.
and he didn't get to perform necrophilia, but he did kill her. Unfortunately, her body was lifeless.
Mm-hmm.
And that, my friends, is how he got caught and apprehended.
Well, good. I'm looking up this movie.
So Miss Sally Thompson was sadly, she was the last victim, but also good for others because she was the last victim.
Right.
After that arrest for the murder of Sally Thompson, Eddie started his confession. And he stated that including the little boy when he was a kid, he also killed 14 others, but admitted he could have murdered as many as 35, but because he was a horrible drunk, he blacked out a lot. His memories of incidents are fuzzy. He also stated he killed loose, quote unquote, women as revenge for his mother's abuse and neglect.
Ugh.
How about we just say we made choices here and we killed these women because we chose to, because I understand there's trauma and PTSD and everything, but you're still making a choice to take out someone else's life.
Right.
His murderous rampage took him to California, Nevada, Texas, Wyoming, and Oklahoma. He went on trial in Nevada and he wanted a non-jury hearing because he wanted to receive the death penalty. And that is a sentence more likely to be given by a judge.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote something in support of his death. Does the public want to waste money by prolonging the life of a person who eventually will be put to death anyway?
Right.
He wrote, why prolong a despicable person's life who acted as judge, jury, and executioner to the people he murdered without regard to the victims? He may have been convicted of only 5 murders, but he got his wish of the death penalty in Nevada. And at sentencing, he replied, thanks, Judge. Jesus. Now, in Nevada, they, up until 1984, they didn't have death penalty. Like, they had taken it away. Right. And they brought it back in 1984. Oh. So that was a year before his sentencing.
Okay.
He was arrested in 1980. It took that long still to get him. So, or maybe it was before then. Was it 1970? Shit. I forgot. Frick. Anyways, at this time, they had the death penalty again by lethal injection.
Okay.
Eddie refused to appeal and was put to death in Carson City, Nevada on December 6, 1985 by lethal injection. You can find an interview he did called 1985 Carol Cole Final Interview Before Execution. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
And it's just a reporter like asking him how he's feeling before the death penalty or whatever.
So like, I can't even imagine like interviewing somebody like that. I'm trying to find this movie and it's really going to bug me now.
It's a maid finding dead people to clean up.
Not exactly. It's weird that triggered it though.
It is.
It was in the 90s. And I can't find it.
Do you remember who was in it?
Pretty sure Madonna was in it.
Oh.
Yep. And I can't remember anybody else.
We'll just put in Madonna's name in movies.
Do you know how hard she's been in a lot of movies?
Oh, I'm going to look it up in a second.
And she's done a lot of, damn it. She's done a lot of, what's it called?
It wasn't Who's That Girl?
Soundtracks. No, it wasn't.
Body of Evidence?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Desperately Seeking Susan?
Nope. I might be remembering it wrong.
4 Rooms.
Thank you.
Yeah, it all happens in a hotel.
So good. Dead body under the mattress.
Yes.
Dead body under the mattress.
Yes.
In the hotel room.
Yes. That was a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yes. Thank you. I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it,
Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez. So if you're into their movies.
If you haven't seen it, it's just really it's funny. It's funny good.
It's from 1995.
Yeah.
And it's very humorous in an intelligent way.
Who's the guy that works in the hotel in that movie?
That would be...
He's really funny.
Tim Roth.
Oh my God, I love him.
He's in lots of Quentin Tarantino.
He's super weird.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is why I love
good.
It. So,
yeah. So we figured out the movie.
Thank goodness.
Now we go watch it. And we also... There we have the horrific story of a man whose childhood dictated a life of crime and sadness, or was that he the product of his mom's abuse and trauma, or was he just predisposed to be a shit human?
I think both.
I think it's a combo.
Oh, for sure.
Combo deal. Because plenty of people go through traumatic childhoods and don't make the choice to just kill people out of revenge because their mom was a shit person.
Yeah. That's true. I wonder what his IQ was.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that he was not one of those that was very intelligent.
He wasn't very smart. Okay.
I don't think
I always wonder
he never really had jobs. He just had he took jobs and then stole from them and then would go to another state, and he did a lot of petty theft stuff that when he was in Nevada, he got a job as a coin courier, and he decided one day he'd take a bag of coins. It was probably $10,000. And then that's why he went to Wyoming.
Okay.
Yeah. There's just a lot of weird. Yeah. So anyways, that's the Barfly Strangler. He liked to go to clubs and bars and
what's up, Barfly
topless places and get these loose women and murder them, then throw them out like trash. All while being blackout drunk.
I mean, he was having the time of his life. Unfortunately, that meant he ended a lot of lives. So.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
And not sure how many. And it's sad that there's some that he remembered but doesn't remember who they are, and so they're out in the middle of nowhere, just bones.
They might be found someday, many moons from now.
Mm-hmm.
They might get dug up naturally too, because he said he buried some in the desert. I mean, the desert is constantly changing.
It is, and there's a lot of development going on in a lot of different places. So
yeah. Stuff gets dug up and they're like, oh no, we found bones, and then they're like, stop everything because
we're excavating, let's get the tape out, we're doing an investigation.
Yep.
Oof.
Anyway,
so
sweet.
That's the story of Carol Edward Eddie Cole.
He's a very creepy dude.
He was. And we'll have pictures of him. He was I sent those to our Google Drive.
Word. They're in the drive. I'll put them on the Insta.
In the Insta.
All right. So that's it, I guess. All right. Do you want me to do that and you can find us? Because I have it written down.
I'm going to need to get a list and laminate it, make it all pretty, and then I can have it for... Look at your post-its.
3 post-its taped. They're posted together.
Hey, it's the holidays. We need to remember to tell people about our merch, and we've got a code.
Word. Well, the code by the time this comes out
won't be available anymore.
Maybe it might be, and I should have said it in the last one, but
sorry,
it's on the Instagram. But if it's before, I think I put it through December 15th, maybe. So if it's before December 15th and you want to get some merch for 30% off the total price of any order, it does not matter what it is. Use the code Mary as
all
in
capitals.
Well, it doesn't
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, MERRY, Mary, not the name Mary, but like Mary. You know, we're Mary.
Like Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. I should have made it ho, ho,
ho. Ho, 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 yo.
So yeah, you can find us on Instagram at Crime Coffee and Crafts Pod. You can find us on Twitter now at CCAC Pod. You can get our merch on our website from any of our places. It's all listed everywhere.
It's all everywhere.
Or you can go to crimecoffeeandcrafts.bigcartel.com. And if you love our podcast, please leave us a 5-star review. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Please.
Yes, because that helps us more than anything at all, because we need more listeners.
Oh, and we do have a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon, and I keep forgetting to say it. I didn't write that. It's not on my list.
We didn't talk about. Oh my goodness, we got to add it to the list.
We're on Patreon.
We're on Patreon. Come and be members, monthly members, and Patreon will send you cool things like a sticker, a t-shirt,
coffee mug, a different coffee mug. And it's Patreon exclusive stuff. So it's not stuff that you can get anywhere else. You only get it if you are a Patreon
member.
Donate
to the good cause.
And to get to our Patreon, just go to our website. It's there. And send us your stories. Please. We want to do listener stories or like suggestions.
Yeah, like you can pick a location in the world and we'll find a story. That's fun.
Yes, I like this plan.
Yeah.
My father-in-law keeps telling me, like, you should cover this. But
I love him. He's funny.
He listens to true crime all day long. It's so funny. And
he is one of our fans.
I was like super nervous about him listening to the first episode because I live with him. Like, I'm gonna hear about it for sure. But he listens to true crime all day long.
Mostly about
I showed
World
him how
War II history.
No, I showed him how to use like YouTube and stuff.
Oh, is he venturing out?
His smart TV, and I signed him into the Discovery Plus account.
Oh, nice.
Set him up his own Discovery Plus section in there.
Right.
And signed him into our Netflix account. So like he now has access to like all of this stuff. But he on YouTube listens to these podcasts that like they don't even have video. It's literally like you'll just see an image for the whole hour, and it's so funny because like it sounds like a robot talking. It's a voice, like automated voice. It's very interesting. I'm like, what is this? But he enjoys it, and he's like, and one of them is like female serial killers only, and I'm like, that's so weird. He's like, there's a lot of women serial killers. I'm like,
yeah. The FBI says that there's 200 in the world active every year. And it's not just white men 24 to 34 who have mommy issues. There's women, there's other races and cultures.
Some people are just fucked up and others are not. So
we are not, but we do definitely talk about the messed up ones.
We enjoy talking about it.
I just want to know what's going on in that brain.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's interesting. Yeah.
We hope you like our stories.
Yay! Yes, we do. And we will talk to you next time. Ta-ta.
For now.